Janet Moy is investment director from Brewin Dolphin, a British wealth management company. I asked her what she thought was so significant about the Beijing Stock Exchange.
So first of all, it is designed to help small and medium-sized businesses as well as the early-stage company to access capital in China. So that would help with the technological innovation and economic upgrading of China, because the requirement for listing in the Beijing Stock Exchange is lower compared to the existing exchanges such as the Star Board and the Chi-Next. So it should help with the funding requirements for these emerging businesses.
Now, BSE has been touted as the means to help China's little giants gain access to the capital market. Little giants become bigger, of course. That's the nature of this business. So what intervention is in place to keep that being so? What special rules and policies are in place?
The Beijing Stock Exchange, they have a lower capital requirement, and they acknowledge that these companies would have higher volatility at the initial stage in the public market. So they would allow trading for higher volatility compared to existing exchanges such as the Chi-Next and the Star Board. And once these companies become a bit more mature, they're able to actually transfer to the bigger exchanges such as Chi-Next and Star Board. So it's like an emerging platform for these companies to secure finances and grow while acknowledging that these companies may trade in a more volatile fashion.
And how have the investors reacted to its launch?
Yeah, so it is actually pretty good on the first day of trading. So the first 10 stocks that are newly listed in the Beijing Stock Exchange, they have mostly doubled in the market value. And in particular, the sectors such as high-end manufacturing, software, and pharmaceutical companies are seeing big gains. However, for the other companies, about 70 of them that are transferred from existing stock exchanges to this Beijing Stock Exchange, their performance is a bit mixed. But generally speaking, it has been quite an upbeat start.
And where does this sit in with the other exchanges? I mean, how will the BSE affect China's existing stock exchanges?
Yeah, so I think it is part of the progress of the capital markets reform in China. So that would collaborate with existing exchanges to provide funding for small and medium-sized business. So that should help with providing more, first of all, for investors, more diversification for the stock available. And also it would support the ongoing technological innovation, economic upgrading of China. And importantly, it should be able to maintain that Chinese characteristics in the stock market, and also to maintain the standard of the Chinese regulators, and also help to have less reliance on Western capital funding. So all in all, it would help to support the further deepening of the capital market reform in China and allow access to funding for domestic companies and becoming less reliant on external market support.
And for international investors, is this simply likely to be a Chinese story?
To start with, the Beijing Stock Market Exchange is still pretty small compared to the overall Chinese market exchanges. So it is a first step to start with. And I think it is, for now, is a domestic Chinese story because I think these Chinese stocks are still emerging, and it is likely to trade with a lot of volatility, which may not be attractive to like every investors out there. So I think it will start as a domestic story first, and I think it may attract further international interest once that further develops and matures.